Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going over the all-new Chevy Colorado Trail Boss. Before we get in this video though, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Signer Chevy here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this Colorado. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you don't know, the Jerry Signer Chevy does not charge markups on their products, so if you want a great deal on a new Chevy, check them out. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So powering the Colorado Trail Boss is a turbocharged 2.7 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 17 around town and then 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then about 390 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting with the hood, you can see how crazy this looks, and I'm glad that I finally found a black truck to review so you can really see all of the body lines. Super distinctive. Now with the Trail Boss package, you guys can see we've got halogen lights for the headlights, and then look at this little accent piece off to the side. Got our Trail Boss logo here in the center, and then the blacked out Chevy bow tie. And then notice how the trim's actually metallic gray here. And then we do have an air dam at the bottom with some tow hooks, but judging by the appearance of the air dam, it looks like you could remove that pretty easily if you wanted to. But putting it all together, I'm a big fan of the look with this new Trail Boss. It's got this like beefy, aggressive appearance. Now coming around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275, 65, 18 in the front and over in the rear as well. And it's awesome to see tires this big on a mid-size pickup truck. I love how the wheels all blacked out. That also goes with the theme of this particular truck. And then you can see that with the new Colorado, we've got independent front suspension. And then look how big the fender flares are on this Trail Boss package. That's obviously to accommodate the larger tire package, but yeah, it looks really cool. And then we've got these fixed side steps here, and then you'll notice that the mirror cap's blacked out, and then the door handles actually match the trim that's on the fender flares. It's pretty cool that the shock covering's all blacked out. Anyways, got leaf springs in the back end and then solid rear axle. And then here's your full side view with the Trail Boss. It definitely has a really nice stance front to back, and I like the little Trail Boss decal there on the back end as well. It's pretty cool. So the key fob for the Trail Boss is pretty straightforward. You have your unlock function, your lock function, and then the Chevy bow tie there on the back. Now the tailgate does slow lower down, which is a nice feature to have, and there's actually a ruler here on the back as well. And if we push these to the side, which I guess that one's already pushed to the side, this allows us to access the little storage cubby here. It does have a drain, which is pretty cool, and then it's pretty easy to lock it. You just kind of pull those back into place once that's down. And then in terms of the bed space back here, it's actually really solid with the Colorado. I mean, there's a lot of mid-sized pickup trucks that I feel like just don't have good beds. This one's got a really decent sized bed. Now this has to be one of the lightest tailgates ever to actually lift up. And then you guys can see Chevrolet stamped into the tailgate Colorado, and then it looks like we've got the quote-unquote baseline taillights here. And then we do have the bumper steps on the back end as well as parking sensors, and yeah, that's so cool. But wrapping things up, let me know what you guys think about the looks of the Colorado. I definitely do like this Trail Boss package quite a bit when it comes to looks. It's got this like cool wide body, almost like Raptor style appearance. Now taking a look at the door panel here, you guys can see pretty basic, but again, that's kind of what this Trail Boss package is all about. And the benefit of this is this would be really easy to clean when you take this off-road. Now taking a look at the seats, we do have these cloth seats here, and you got the gray inserts there in the center. And then there's also more storage space underneath the seat itself, and there's this little latch right here. That's what lets you pick up the seat, and then you can also just pull it and then the seat drops back down. Now legroom here in the back for a mid-size pickup truck is pretty normal, and then we got some cup holder action. We've got some vents here in the center, and then you can see that we've got the rear sliding window as well. And then headroom back here is, yeah, also pretty good. I've got like a few inches above me. And then taking a look at the front door panel here, you guys can see similar to the rear one, and then all of our window controls, and I like that little camo print right there. Anyways, driver window is automatic. You get your mirror adjustments. There's a quick look at the mirrors themselves. And now taking a look at the front seat, cloth just like the rear, but notice it is power adjustable for the driver's side, which is a nice feature to have. And then we've got our trailer brake controls integrated from the factory. And of course, you gotta look at the payload here. So payload capacity on this specific truck, 1,390 pounds. And then towing capacity with the Trail Boss package, max towing capacity is 7,700 pounds. Now, taking a look at the steering wheel itself, I actually think it looks really nice for a baseline pickup truck. It's kind of got these like perforations on the side, even though it's not leather, it looks the part, right? And then there are radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, which is another nice feature. And then got some controls for like your voice command controls, cruise control over here, and then your regular old stock there on the back as well. But I like the steering wheel design. So this does have the Colorado's new digital gauge cluster, which I'm a huge fan of because first off, it just looks cool and it's pretty easy to tell everything that's happening. You guys can see right now with the driveline, for example, how much range we have, and then we can actually change the whole setup. So there's a few different like menus we can scroll through. I love the off-road view, and then you just have like, I guess the, you know, calm view is what we'll call it, but it's pretty cool. Now this right here is quite impressive. You guys can see we've got this 360 camera system with the Trail Boss package. Again, you just don't expect this on a more entry-level pickup truck. Usually, you know, with this kind of pickup truck, you're lucky if you, well, I mean, I guess backup camera is federally mandated now, but like back in the day, you're lucky if you even got a backup camera, let alone a 360. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time with the screen is really solid. You guys know I'm a huge fan of GM's infotainment systems, and notice we've got like a little off-road page here. It's cool, the different info that you can show depending on what kind of off-roading that you're doing. I find that pretty appealing. I wish more automakers would offer something like this. But yeah, it also comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And while we're on the screen, you can see the different drive modes. So we've got normal mode, then you got your off-road mode, you got your tow haul mode, terrain mode, and then obviously back to normal. If you're wondering, off-road is kind of like your more high-speed off-roading, whereas terrain's your more like rock crawling type mode. Now down below you can see single zone climate, and you got the rest of your climate controls right here. We actually have physical buttons for that whole setup, which is nice. Some vents here down below that, and then your auto stop start, your lane departure, which is pretty cool. And then look at like the dash layout here. Again, more quote unquote basic with material use, but the design, it's still really cool. This is our charging area with some USBs, and I like the camo print there. And then we got our shifter for that 8-speed automatic, and then our drive line select right here. So we've got 4-wheel auto, 4-wheel low, 4-wheel high, and 2-wheel high. And then you got your parking brake right behind it, and then more camo print here in the cup holders, and then the center console. It's got decent storage space. And let's see what the glove box is like. Yeah, it's also solid as well. And I guess while we're over here, got the manual mirror dimmer. And then we already went over the rear glass. That's just manual with the opening operation. So here's our window sticker for the Trail Boss. You guys can see all the standard equipment. The thing I forgot to mention during the walk around, by the way, this has the auto locking rear differential. So it does have a locking rear differential, it's just automatic. But look at the base MSRP in this truck, $37,000. Now this does have some options added to it, as you can see. And a lot of these options are obviously options that people are probably going to want to add just for, you know, driving convenience and all of that. But after all options, this one stickers for $43,130. Which in today's world where everything's like $60,000 plus, it's pretty dang reasonable. That sums things up. Okay, well, this is going to be a very short drive here in the Colorado. We're basically just taking this back to its parking space. I obviously did have a chance to drive the Z71 package that has this same exact powertrain. The big difference with the Z71 versus the Trail Boss, right, is that the Z71, well, is actually a little bit more expensive, and that one's more about like on-road luxury, whereas this is more about off-road capability. And I think it's cool that Chevy's doing this. They're actually offering a more, you know, baseline interior package with off-road shops. But yeah, this new powertrain's quick. If you guys want to see like more driving impressions, just go watch my Z71 review. I also have a Canyon AT4 review up, and the Canyon AT4 is pretty similar to the Trail Boss in terms of driving dynamics. Just obviously has the GMC stuff on it, and that one has the high output, and then, you know, more upgraded interior because it's like $10,000 more expensive than this roughly. But I just wanted to quickly like give my kind of like thoughts here on the Colorado Trail Boss and just on the new Colorado in general. And this is, I guess, where actually, I won't worry about it. I was gonna say this is where I could show you guys the camera system because we're pulling into this tight parking space, but it's pretty easy to tell where I am with the truck. I'm super impressed with this new Colorado so far. So this is the first full production Colorado that I've reviewed, I'm pretty sure, because the Canyon was pre-production. I'm pretty sure that Colorado Z71 was pre-production, but this full production, and I can tell you that the build quality definitely feels a lot better than the pre-production vehicles, which that's just always the case, pre-production versus full production. So I'm glad with that. And I don't know, I like the concept of this, just getting your, you know, quote unquote, kind of like more bare bones, you know, pickup truck, but then it has all the off-road stuff. Like, this looks really cool on the outside. It's super capable off-road. And I mean, yeah, some of you might say that the $40-something thousand sticker price is a lot of money, but the average brand new vehicle in today's market is $48,000. That's the average MSRP. This is $5,000 less expensive than the average brand new vehicle. It's a pickup truck. It's got four-wheel drive. It can tow 7,700 pounds. It's got 1,300 pounds of payload capacity. It's just, there's so much utility with this vehicle. I'm a big fan. Let me know what you guys think about the Trail Boss, and let me know if you think this is the quote-unquote Colorado sweet spot, or do you think that you should go up to a Z71 or, you know, the ZR2.